o'clock.
Today's news.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Monica Ricks. The jury in Hunter Biden's gun trial has been dismissed for the day after deliberating for about an hour in Delaware. CBS's Scott McFarland is there and has more on closing arguments.
Prosecutors argued through this trial and through closing arguments today is that Hunter Biden had a history of drug addiction, that he sent text messages in that key month, October 2018, indicative of drug use or drug transactions, and that he knowingly violated federal law.
The defense argues Hunter had been in recovery at the time. The jury will be back tomorrow to weigh those charges. In Florida, former President Trump met virtually with probation officials ahead of his hush money sentencing next month in New York. It's a rare exception, but this is also an unprecedented case. Trump's the first former president convicted of a crime. He'll be sentenced July 11th. Millions of people are sweating it out in extreme heat today.
Brutal, life-endangering heat returns to the American Southwest and California's Central Valley this week. Gary Johnson with the Salvation Army has been checking on the homeless in Phoenix, Arizona.
This is a life-saving effort for the Salvation Army. We consider this extreme heat a natural disaster, so it's an emergency disaster response for us.
There will be near-record heat in much of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast later in the week. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in the Middle East today for his 8th visit to the region since October 7th. He's currently in Israel, but making stops in other Arab countries to convince leaders to put more pressure on Hamas to agree to a ceasefire.
We'll see. Does Hamas want to end this conflict, end this war that it started, or not? We'll find out.
A popular drug maker is touting a new vaccine to knock out 2 viruses.
Moderna says its combination vaccine to protect against both COVID-19 and influenza generated a stronger immune response in adults aged 50 and over when compared to separate shots against the viruses in a late-stage trial.
CBS's Steve Kaysen reporting. Martha's Vineyard's running out of pot, and its location could stop suppliers from stocking up. Marijuana is legal in Massachusetts, but the state's Cannabis Control Commission says transporting it across the ocean could break federal laws. It's still working on a solution. And people freaked out when a rodeo bull hopped the fence and injured 3 people at an arena in Oregon this weekend. It charged through a concession area before wranglers caught up to it. 2 people had to be hospitalized. On Wall Street today, the Dow added about 70 points. The Nasdaq was up 60. The S&P up 14. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 65 degrees on Treasure Island, California.